Hey, it's Tara with Reiki on the Run, and today I want to talk about when old behaviors resurface. So this can be any behavior: cheating, lying, anger, and it doesn't have to be such an obvious negative behavior. It can be that you are a people pleaser and you can't say no, that you're down on yourself. It doesn't matter. If you have any old behaviors that you want to change and you've been working on it and getting better, but it keeps popping up, this video is for you. For my example, I'm going to talk about anger because it's something that I've dealt with for as long as I can remember. I remember feeling angry as a small child and definitely as a teenager. It's a deep-seated thing, and I know a lot of other people struggle with it, so I'm going to talk about anger, but any behavior or energy you want to shift, it's all done the same way. So one of the biggest things to look at first when dealing with any issues is who, if anyone, are you blaming? Maybe you aren't, and that's great. But I used to blame everyone else for my anger. If they hadn't treated me this way, or if I didn't grow up that way, it was my parents' fault, my ex's fault, pretty much anybody but me. My poor circumstances. Look at what life has thrown at me. If you had to deal with what I have, you would be angry too. So much blame. And some of it may be true. And let me tell you, it felt that way. I felt angry and justified. But at some point, I had to be accountable for how I am here and now. Not to mention, I realized I didn't want to be like that anymore. I had to find a way out because I was only hurting myself staying in that mess. So I had to take a hard look at myself and realize none of those people were even around anymore. And why am I still like this? Why would I let those things continue to plague me? So the first thing to do is let go of the blame game. Change your story. The story you tell yourself and the story you tell others. Stop mentioning those people and those situations. It does nothing but keep you feeling justified, which keeps you right where you're at. And this goes for blaming yourself too. You cannot hold yourself hostage to your past. Okay? So as we raise our vibration in general, we will waver back and forth a bit. You think about the pendulum swing. You'll go really high and do really good, but until you get kind of leveled out, you have to realize you're going to swing back the other way. And you may think you are past something. You've moved on. It's not there anymore, just to find yourself thrown right back in the middle of it. And it often feels worse than it did before, than it used to. But that's because you've been practicing much more of a higher vibration in general, and it's such a contrast that it feels worse than it did before. And that's a good thing. Just remember with that pendulum swing, wherever you find yourself in those whenever you find yourself in those old behaviors, just hold tight because you'll be swinging back the other way. Okay. And it's really important not to marinate in that old behavior or that let down feeling because of it. Acknowledge where you are and that you don't want to be there and move on. Staying in the mess keeps you in that vibration, which will build the momentum in that direction and bring more of it because you get the same energetic experiences to match the vibration you are putting out. So the key is to put out the good stuff more often. Don't get mad at yourself, no judgment. You want to do better and you are doing better, and move up and on. And definitely make sure you don't get sucked into guilt and shame. Those two emotions are a lower vibration than anger, and they can send you into a major downward spiral. So never ever go down the road of, I'm stupid, it's pointless, I'm horrible, and I wish I'd nevers, because that helps nothing. Focus more on, I'm better in general. I want to do better, and that's a good thing. I'm aware. I'm on my way to amazing things. That feels much better, doesn't it? And just remember that what you think about, what you focus on, you draw to you. So don't focus on those things that you did that you don't like, because more will be drawn to you. Focus on the you that you are becoming, and that will be drawn to you. And seriously, give yourself a break. The fact that you have acknowledged the behavior you want to change is monumental. The old saying is very true. The first step is admitting you have a problem, because you can't change anything unless you admit it needs to be changed. Period. So, time for a little checklist action. When I realize I'm slipping back into old behaviors, if I pay attention to some key things, I can find my way out of it. Sometimes we don't even know why we are spiraling, why we are engaging in these old behaviors again. So when I need to shift away from the old behaviors, I will ask myself these questions. What is my general everyday situation? Where do I live? Who am I around? What is my work situation like? What is my interaction with my neighbors like? How does all this affect me? When it comes to your general everyday situation, change what you can and acknowledge what you can't. But pay attention to those things, because they can have an effect on sliding back into old behaviors without even realizing it. Next question is, am I taking care of my body? It is very, very important to move every day. Stagnant energy is not good at all. And if you don't move your body often at all, just go for a walk and you will shift tremendously. Food is also important. It's okay if you're eating some bad stuff, but are you at least getting some good nutrients in there? Pay attention to that. It really makes a difference. What is my state of mind? Is everything everyone else's fault? Am I blaming everyone? If so, I'm stuck in victim mode and I need to shift out of it, just like we spoke about earlier. Am I being hard on myself? Same thing. I need to shift out of that. Am I dealing with emotional stuff? Bring awareness to it. Just acknowledging that I'm emotional can sometimes help me to ease up on myself. I can take the time I need, deal with it, and get back to good. Am I actively practicing the vibration I want to be in with awareness? What am I focusing on? Am I constantly thinking about some negative thing that happened or might happen? Am I practicing the vibration of the person I used to be and don't want to be anymore? Or am I practicing the vibration of the person I want to be? And how you practice a vibration is just by thinking of something. Thoughts are vibration. So if I'm thinking about negative things and situations, things I've done, things I'm worried about, I'm keeping myself there. I'm choosing to be in a negative vibration. So I need to actively choose and focus my thoughts on being the person I'm striving to be practicing the behaviors I want to be practicing that aren't the ones I'm practicing now. And keep going back to that. Keep shifting your thoughts. Sometimes we don't even realize we think so much about the negative and things that have happened. We don't realize that we're focusing so much on that. So just keep going back to that. Keep shifting. Shift back to who you want to be. Focus on that person that you want to be and that you know you're going to be. And last but not least, am I paying attention to my input? News, entertainment, social media. Am I watching sad or scary things? Or am I listening to negative commentary or arguments or watching murder shows? All this adds to my vibration. It doesn't matter if I'm not angry. If I'm consuming media filled with anger, I will soak that in and create more of it. I have to be aware of my input, the vibrational frequencies I'm inputting into my body, because remember, everything is a vibrational frequency, even the TV show. So, hopefully these are some things that you can bring your awareness to and tweak if needed to help on your journey a little more. And make sure to acknowledge your progress. You have to look back and note how you've been moving forward and realize you are getting there. Onward and upward. I always say that. Onward and upward. And I want to encourage you. This can and will be better. Whatever it is you're struggling with, It's going to be okay. It's going to be great. Actually, if you are still listening right now, you are well on your way. This is a huge effort on your part to do better, and all it takes is intention. Intention is activation. Set your intention right now to let loose of these old behaviors and move toward those of your desires. Say the following 2 sentences out loud right now and mean it. I let go of the past and the old behaviors that no longer serve me. I am becoming the best version of myself. And so it is. If anyone hasn't told you today, I love you very, very much. If this information resonates with you and you would like to go deeper, check out my workbooks. Listening to these videos will help, but when you put your effort into shifting, your life will change swiftly. They're called 6-week shift books, and they take you through 6 weeks of daily activities that will create a major shift in your thinking and energy, which will in turn shift your life. Put in the work, reap the reward. I've left a link below if you're interested.